Hello, my darlings. I hope you're doing really well wherever you are. Today, I'd like to tell you a little story about how I overcame alopecia. So I would say about 15 years ago, in my mid-30s, I went to my hairdresser, my regular hairdresser, to get my hair cut. And within literally 5 minutes, she pulled up the mirror behind my head and she said, "Suki, what's this?" And I was like, what? There were patches in my head of where hair had fallen out. I didn't even know this was the case. And immediately I got really scared and I panicked, and I could feel myself just getting really hot and really stressed out. And I was like, what the hell is this? My immediate thought was, I've got cancer. That was the first thing that came into my head, and, sheer panic. So I finished the haircut and I ran to my car and I quickly Googled hair falling out. What could this be? And one of the results was that it could be alopecia. So I thought, okay, let me see what's happening here. I went to my GP, my doctor, and he said, yes, the official diagnosis was alopecia, and he told me it can be stress related, but there's a whole other array of reasons it can happen. And here's a steroid cream, gave me a steroid cream and said, this will help to stimulate the growth and, get everything working back to normal. I took the cream, I bought it, I took the cream, but I never used it because I don't really believe in pharmaceutical medicines. It's not something I take. I do believe that your emotions are connected to any diseases in your body or any imbalances. And so I also believe that I created this alopecia, so therefore I've got the power to resolve this. And I've believed in this for over 20, probably more, 30 years. So this is the kind of philosophy that I live by. And so I didn't touch the cream at all, but I started to ask myself questions. So I went into meditation and really just said, why is this happening? Why has this happened? Why has my beautiful hair fallen out? What's going on with this? And, the answer didn't come straight away, but after lots and lots of asking, later I realized why this had happened. So about a month prior to going to my hairdressers, I had an argument with God. I had an argument with my source, with my beloved universal energy and my infinite wisdom, because I'm not married and I don't have kids. And, as I said, I was in my mid-30s and I got really angry, and I had this throwing my toys out of the pram tantrum, if you like. And I got really angry and I said, you don't love me. Why don't I have a husband? Why don't I have children? Everybody I see around has these things, but these things haven't been given to me in my life. And I got really angry and really upset, and I just, in the end, had a massive tantrum and basically said, you don't love me. If you loved me, then I would have everything that I want, and I don't have everything that I want, so clearly you don't love me. And I then said some really bad words. I said, basically, you and I are finished. I'm done with you. I'm not interested anymore. I try to be a good person. I try to do things and live in a right, honorable way. I try to be a kind person, but I'm missing something in return. So, the love's not being reciprocated. And at that time, that's genuinely how I felt. I felt lonely. I felt alone. I didn't understand my purpose in life. And yeah, that's really, really how I felt. So I had totally forgotten that I had this argument. So basically, through meditation and through a lot of soul searching, I realized that I'd had an argument with God, and I'd basically closed the door and I'd shunned my source energy. In that action, I also realized that I'd closed a part of myself, because I'm a part of the universe. I'm a part of universal energy. I am a part of God. God is a part of me. So when I closed that door and said, we're done, the consequence was my hair falling out, because I lost faith in God. So I lost faith in myself. I basically lost faith in myself. And as soon as I realized this, after a good couple of weeks after the diagnosis, and basically went and I put my nose on the floor in humility, and I just said, forgive me, I'm so sorry, I'm really, really sorry, I'm just a human being, I don't know why this, I shouldn't have had that argument with you. And I just said, I don't know what you need from me. I don't know what my destiny is, and therefore, I thought getting married and having kids was part and parcel of that process. But actually, I was born to be an energy healer. I was born to help people, and I was born to undo lots and lots of hereditary and ancestral healing, and I was supposed to help others. And if I had had a marriage and if I'd had children, I wouldn't have been able to reach the level of emotional intelligence, consciousness and spirituality that I have done in my life, because I would have been distracted in something else. And so I realized this at this time, it's not in my destiny to get married and have kids in this lifetime, because I've got a job to do, and my destiny is to, I was born to help other people, and it just doesn't fit into that. And that realization kind of came as a download that you're not supposed to have kids in this life. You're not supposed to have this. And first, I was a bit sad because I wanted to be a mother. And then I thought, well, you don't have to physically be a mother. You can still love humanity and still kind of play out that role. And that was sufficient for me. That was absolutely fine for me. I'm not distracted. I can clearly focus. I mean, when I look at some of the people around me, and this is no criticism to them, but I am at a really high level of consciousness because I've spent years of my life doing at least an hour, if not more, of meditation every day. I've done loads of yoga, I've done loads of Tai Chi, I've done loads of Qigong, I've done loads of soul searching, I've read loads of self-help books. I've really had a traumatic childhood and been able to overcome all of that and come to the other side, because I've worked so much on myself. And had I had a family to deal with, there's no way I would have reached this level of consciousness. I know that for a fact. So in this lifetime, it just wasn't my destiny. And once I understood that, I was able to really just understand what my destiny is. And so, as I said, I put my nose on the floor and I just said, forgive me, source. I'm wrong. I'm really wrong this time. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to hurt myself. I didn't mean to do this. It's just sometimes I have a lack of understanding and I don't know what direction my life is going. But it was really wrong to shut you out, and I'm so sorry. Whatever you do is correct. Whatever source does for me, it will only put me in the right course of action. And I kind of just said, some really heartfelt words like, you're always right, you know what I'm supposed to be doing before I know what I'm supposed to be doing. So I did all of that apologizing, and then I apologized to myself because I'm a part of source as well. And I just said, I'm so sorry for treating you like this. I'm so sorry for shunning you. I'm so sorry for rejecting a part of you that's magnificent and beautiful and amazing. And you will not believe what happened next. So as I said, I didn't touch the steroid cream at all, but as soon as I had this realization and went through this forgiveness process and constantly started to really just adjust and understand that, I'm never going to have kids and I probably won't get married, then things started to improve because I adjusted in alignment to where I am supposed to be in this lifetime. And like I said, you wouldn't believe it, but I would say about a month later, my hair started to grow back. And a couple of months later, it was growing back even better. And it was totally resolved, absolutely 100% resolved. I mean, fast forward to today, I've never had a problem with my hair falling out again, because I learned the lesson, I understood what I needed to do, and I came into alignment. So for me personally, anytime I have a disease or a health problem or something like that, it's to teach me something. It's to give me a lesson, or it's to make me understand something. I'm not saying this is the same for everybody. I'm just giving you my example and saying this is what it was for me. But I really, really learned a valuable lesson there. That source is my source, it's my love, and I can't cut that off. To cut that off would be you know, to basically become cold, and that's not who I am. And so then with my hair growing back, I just became more confident and more accepting of this. And with that came a lot more downloads of what my destiny is and what I need to be doing with my life. And fast forward today, lo and behold, I'm an energy healer, and I help people. And so everything was correct. Everything was at the right purpose. It made me have a much closer relationship to the universe and to my source, and it made me value myself a lot more, in a sense where, you know, the way I live my life, how I live my life, and who is in my life is all correct. There's nothing wrong here. It could be that, you know, in a previous lifetime, because I do believe in reincarnation, and I do believe that our soul evolves and we do go through different lifetimes. It could be in the past lifetime I had 10 kids, and this lifetime the universe kind of said to me, you know, take a break. Or I could have been male and had loads of kids, or, you know, there's an infinite amount of different rationale and reasoning as to why it hasn't, I am not destined in this life, but I accept that. You know, that's the fundamental thing. I accept that. And instead of going against the grain, I'm flowing with the energy, and I'm flowing with the cards that I was dealt with, and just makes me feel really peaceful and really happy. So I wanted to share that with you. Have any of you suffered from alopecia, or have any of you had any other health problems that have really come back and given you a level of wisdom that you didn't have before? I would love to hear if this has been you. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed my story. I'd love to know what you think. Yeah, that's it. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take good care, my darlings. Lots of love. Bye for now.